I got to hear. It was a video that I wanted to do for a little bit, but never really ever got round to it because, like, I thought it was a bit stupid and stuff like that. But as you might have seen on my channel, I have this new character I called Axocat, and I just wanted to do a video showing at least how I go around drawing it. I figured we'd go for what I've been doing mainly on different social medias I've been on, which is inside the sort of little circle thing. Which I'm going to get now. We use the shape here. Pretty reasonable size. Then fill in with the colour. I know I just go with the light yellow here. So now we have this circle. So normally what I start with is the main body of it. So that being sort of just this sort of shape. Then I add some extra lines to make it look a bit more 3D. So here and here. So that's the main frame of it. Then I go with what they call gold on this thing, but it's more orange. Just basically fill that bit in. Then I make it slightly darker. It doesn't stay consistent with what I go for. I just see what I feel like that on each day. And I don't really worry about the lines being straight at all. I feel like that just adds to it for some reason. Then I go for this dark red for the ears. Normally I have the ears come to about where this point of the head comes. It's sort of somewhat in line with that. Of course, fill that in. The thing with this is sometimes there's this little line which doesn't fully do it, so I normally draw over it afterwards. Like that, and then go do the same for the other ear. When I've done this, it will go slightly off of the screen, but that's fine. Since I'm doing the circle, I normally then get the eraser here and just get rid of any little bits of it that go outside the circle. And then, of course, refill in anything that isn't covered by the fill tool again. So that's that bit. Up next, I'm going to go for the eyes. I normally go for this sort of angry looking look to it. So it takes me a few attempts to get it right. And then, of course, fill them in again. There you go. And then draw over the slight deviation the painter causes. And as of recently, I've added more detail to the eyes. My logo currently, if you see this when it first comes out, is just this block colour. But if you want to, I'm perfectly fine with having slightly more detailed eyes, where it goes something like this. I'll move it slightly over. Then make sure that the tolerance for the colour means I can fill in just that bit. Again, this is slightly outside where I normally go, so again, just smooth some of it out. The thing with this is I never really get it perfect. Again, I feel like I want this character to just be like simple to draw, and you shouldn't feel bad if it looks messy because look at this. It's not meant to. I don't want to go for the same colour as the main outside part of the eyes for the mouth, and I go for the classic sort of cat sort of mouth, like that. But I think I might have gone slightly too big with my canvas here. Right, I can make do with it. I normally have to draw a few times till it looks right. I normally do the main sort of W shape, then come back down and round from one side of it. Normally the right hand side, just because the left hand side would look a bit weird from this orientation, I would think. Then I just take a normal white and just fill in the whole thing and add the teeth sort of like this. Of course, when I'm drawing it again, it's going to go over a bit, so I then come back to the mouth and redraw parts that I went over with. I'm going to do it properly on this side. There we go. Again, it looks a tiny bit messy, so if you want to, you can grab this colour again and smooth out any parts you want. And next is the whiskers. Normally go for the default orange here. And it's 3 on each side, like this. And then find the tail. I just draw it how it goes, basically. It's not really a consistent way I draw it. But it's sort of the default yellow. And it does whatever he wants, basically. Again, there's not really any set size for the tail, so you can make it slightly bigger or smaller. So this is sort of the main part of it. One thing I've decided to do is, after I first drew it, I finally gave it sort of paws or hands. So I'm going to quickly make it a bit smaller, just so it's easier to fit it in. And I've sort of gone for a sort of rounded bomb like this, and then 3 sort of digits to it, and then fill in any parts to make it look a bit more 3D. I have tried to do something like, okay, zoom in where I want it to zoom in. I have sometimes gone for more like sort of more dynamic sort of hand poses, rather than just like a flat-handed wave. So I'm going to try and do one of them here. It's sort of a peace sign that I've done for a lot of my characters, where I just draw a bump for where one of the things would be. And then draw the other 2 parts at a slight angle to where it would be. Draw in the extra bits, and sort of go round with this bit. Then draw sort of the actual finger part down here and up and round. Then I take the colours of the body again and fill anything that would be at the front with that colour. Sometimes I go for a darker colour here. It depends on what you think looks better. And then the side colours, of course, for the side parts. Of course, again, with the filling in, there's going to be parts it misses. So I normally come back to the pen afterwards and just try and fill in any part that is sort of missed. Which I find with sort of the hand parts of it, there's normally some little corner bits that keeps on missing. But that's fine. There's bits sort of here. So after I've done this, I should be almost done. So we've got the main part of it. Now, if you want to, you can add a bit of some more shading, but it's not. I never try and go too accurate with it. Just whatever looks right. So normally, I just pick a low percentage of opacity here with the black pen, and then just sort of draw sort of around here, just sort of across. I normally dodge the eye because I don't think it would make sense. And because the ear will get caught here, I just put a reference colour into the ear, just so I can use the eyedropper here. Make sure that, again, the tolerance doesn't fill in too much of it. Fill in that, fill in this, and fill in this. And then, when there's no obvious overlapping part, like with this, I normally just pick a side and shade it. So let's pick this side. Just however far I feel like it looks right. And then for this, the finger will probably cause some sort of like its own little bit of a shadow, so I normally put a little bit of a shadow around it. And normally then I don't really shade anything else. And that's pretty much it. This is my little character. I drew it ages ago, and it's become one of the main things people know me as. And ever since then, on like my other social medias, I've drawn this specific thing as a bunch of different things. Like, probably not gonna do that actually. If you look at my Instagram, for example, or on some Discord servers I'm in, I post some of the other pictures. I've drawn it as different Pokemon like Sylveon or even Lopunny. I've drawn it as like completely random characters like Flandre Scarlet from the Toku Project. I think I've drawn one of Sonic. There's also like a Boo from Mario. On top of that, I have made like my own different variations. Like at some point, and still kind of after like the whole resurgence of like EXE stuff, I've made like scary versions of him, and I've also created like sort of a edgy version of it, and like sort of like a shadow, Sonic a shadow like counterpart. It really makes me happy because let me re-find my inner art person, because I used to love doing art, but then it wasn't really my thing for a bit because I didn't really want to go through the whole school system of it. So I sort of left it for years, and I'm happy I can get back into it. In no way do I still class myself as an artist at this point, because I actually have a bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, my stuff is nowhere near that. But I'm still happy with what I have. I like how simplistic the character I've made here is. But places I've been posting it, people have seemed to have been enjoying it. And I like that something random I drew ages ago has become the main thing people know me for. Sure, I'm not like famous for it yet, but I don't need to be. I'm just, if I can draw and I'm happy and other people are happy, I'm happy with that. How many times I'm going to say happy in one sentence? And of course, I know there are drawing programs that are miles better than Paint 3D, but I've sort of made Paint 3D my thing. Like in the game that you've seen me play for ages on my channel, that being Key Dog Never Explodes. I post the stuff. I got to posting the stuff in that server, and people seem to have been enjoying it. And I made a mission. That's what I was going to say. I made a mission, which is that square cat drawn on Paint 3D. This is when I was first getting into making it more 3D and stuff like that, and sort of taking it as it was going. And even on Discord still now, I've kept it as the square cats drawn on Paint 3D. And it just makes me happy that that's what I can do, make people happy with it. So hopefully, extra side note, I will finish this video soon. I am perfectly fine with people making their own ones. It would help. Of course, I don't want someone just taking this and then running with it and leaving me behind from it. But I'd love to see other people trying to make their own ones. Hence why I made this video, to try and make it a bit easier. But I've sort of seen it as sort of like an open thing. At one point, I actually asked people if they wanted to draw their own ones, so I could use it as my avatar, because I've done these like months when I've drawn different variations of the character and made it my avatar. It didn't go brilliantly, but I still got people, which made me happy. So I'm happy with people drawing their own ones, referencing it as an Axocat. Sure, I have not invented this sort of shape. Heck, it was inspired off of something I saw on Quiplash from Jackbox. But if you want to make your own one, I'm fine with that. And of course, there are miles better artists than me, and they could probably make this much better than I can. Anyway, that I went on sort of a long tangent there. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video of just me drawing Axocat and then talking about sort of the backstory with it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you later.